One of the greatest privileges of being a priest is to be invited into people's lives as they prepare to die, and to be part of that preparation for a face-to-face encounter with God, most especially through the celebration of the sacrament of confession and the sacrament of anointing of the sick. And over my first 3 years of priesthood, I've had the privilege and the honour to go to quite a few deathbeds now. And they are a particular place to learn things about life. One thing I've learnt now, I think I knew it already, but I really know it now, is that there is a radical equality amongst those who are dying. A radical equality amongst those who are dying. No matter what the person's story, no matter their background, no matter their bank balance, there is an equality amongst those preparing to die. Because what you see there is human nature, the fragility of human life that is part of our story. And you see that fragility and that vulnerability of human life stripped back from all its artificial securities. You see that fragility of human life unsupported by any earthly crutches, and humbled without any of its fake independence. And what you see is a radical equality in mortality. Every rich person I have anointed is just as mortal as every poor person I've anointed. Every rich person I've anointed is just as mortal as every poor person I've anointed. All three readings this Sunday are God's attempt to uncover a lie that we can all fall prey to when pursuing, using, and saving wealth. All three of them. In the gospel, most obviously, the foolish man who believes the lie. He believes the lie that by building bigger and bigger barns to store things that he does not need, he's not storing things he's going to use, he's storing things he does not need. By building those bigger and bigger barns and storing his goods in them, he will be happy. He will be peaceful, he will be secure. The full barns for the foolish man mean that he will enjoy life and he will have the ability to say to himself, take it easy. Eat, drink, be merry, enjoy. Only by filling his barns will he have the ability to say, take it easy and enjoy. By turning all of those things he has in on himself, by directing everything he owns and everything he has, storing them up for himself, he will now be able to take it easy. He will find the peace that he yearns for. We would all love to say those words to our soul. My soul, you have plenty of good things laid up. Take things easy. Have a good time. We would all love to say that. The lie of the foolish man is not that he desires that, but that his barns being full gives him the ability to say that to himself. And it's just not the reality. This is the lie that Jesus is uncovering that we already know isn't true. We already know it's not true. Otherwise, we would be able to point to a very particular people in society who have a particular bank balance, And once they hit that bank balance, they would be objectively happier than anybody else. But we know that that's not true. We know that, oh, once I hit this amount in my bank and I've stored up enough, there's peace in life. It's not true. We know it. Jesus is just putting words on it. The first reading, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What a reading. These readings were used at my first Mass as a priest. I remember them clear as day. It was a big weekend. We were down in the cathedral. There was literally thousands of people there. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone wants to know you. Oh, this is great. I'm a priest. This is fantastic. We're going to do great stuff and everything. And we sat down for the first reading at my first Mass. It said, vanity of vanities. All is vanity. It's all empty. The word in Hebrew in the reading for vanity of vanities is empty breath. Empty breath. Empty breath, empty breath. All is empty breath. When we're chasing the things of the world, it's all vanity. It's like chasing the wind. It's like trying to catch air. It's a useless, futile experience. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What of all the toil, what of all the struggle to catch air, what do we come up with? We think that we'll be able to say to ourselves, relax, take it easy, be at peace. But it's not true. St. Paul says in our second reading, since you have been brought back to true life with Christ, you must look for the things that are in heaven where Christ is. Let your thoughts be on heavenly things, not on the things of the earth. And out of all of those lists he tells us to crucify in ourselves, he says, especially greed. Especially greed, which is the same thing as worshipping a false god. It's idolatry. What are we doing when we're giving into greed? We're believing that lie again. We're believing that lie that if I just get that bank balance up, I'll have peace. If I just have that certain number of possessions and that security in my possessions, I'll have salvation. If I just have one more of whatever I want, I will have fulfillment. It's a false idol. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Money is not wrong in itself. The readings this week and Jesus uncovering the lie that is at the heart of greed, Jesus is not saying to us, be imprudent, spend your money in a silly way, don't be responsible, don't use the money that you do have for goodness, don't be responsible in setting up your family and helping. He's not saying that at all. He's not saying it at all. But he is trying to stress, use your money for goodness, use your wealth and your possessions for goodness, rather than pursuing and amassing your wealth for happiness. Use it for goodness rather than amassing it for happiness. It's all in our attitude. And the lie can be believed by rich and poor alike, because we can all have that attitude. And the truth can be lived by rich and poor alike, because it's not in the balance, it's in the attitude towards our bank balance. It's in our attitude and our use and our intention behind what we have. Do not, Jesus is saying, pursue and amass wealth with the attitude that I will then have the ability to say, take it easy and be at rest, because it's vanity. Not all deaths are equal. There is a radical equality in mortality, but not all of them are quite the same. There are a particular number of deathbeds I've been to that there's something different. There's something special. There is a deep and abiding peace, even in the midst of real suffering. There's just something else there. And I often ask the family, because often we don't know the people, that's the first time we're meeting them. There's something here, there's a peace. What's going on? And not one family has ever answered me, oh, look, Father, he just made really lots and lots of money, so he's just so relaxed and comfortable now, he's at peace, he's ready to go. Or, Father, he had the best opportunity to take as many international trips as he could, and now he's sitting back fulfilled, living a lovely life, knowing he could go and meet his Maker. Or, Father, he just loved that car, and he had that car, and ever since then he's just been able to live at peace and take it easy. No one has ever said that. Ever. The answer is usually, this person was rich in faith and love. This person, Father, this person lived a full relationship with God and has surrounded themselves with love in their families. And the peace that's there in that death is a fruit of that. Not from the lie that I can take it easy and be at peace, but from the peace that comes from God's riches, from God's love, available and accessible to all of us, no matter how much money we have in the bank. That's what we should be chasing. Don't chase wind. Don't chase breath. Don't chase air. Chase those things that make us rich in the eyes of God.